Marwa, President, Asian Education Board, Mr. Vipul Sabharwal, Managing Director, Luminous Power Technologies, Ms. Rachna Sharma, Founder, Fluo Innovations, Mr. Ravi Sharma, Dean CRC, Dr. Shweta Batra, Associate Professor and Dean Examination, Dr. Sunita.
Graduation Day is the time to reflect upon yesterday, appreciate today, and most importantly, anticipate a bright and enriching tomorrow. On this day, with each one of you have come so far as a learned professional who's ready to step into the world professionally, is indeed appropriate to stand back, take a breath, and recognize how far you've come now today. Today we have all gathered here to celebrate achievements and most important milestone in a student's academic life. Our very esteemed and illustrious guests on the dais, proud parents, resourceful teachers, and dearest students, good morning to one and all. Welcome to the Asian Education Group Convocation Ceremony 2022. We are proud to host around 600 students today with us who surpassed their college degree with grace, bagging with them some wisdom and skills for a brighter future. Due to the pandemic, we could unfortunately not host the convocation ceremony for a few batches, but it is still a sight of honor and grace for us to have you all once again under the umbrella of Asian Education Group. We have amongst us the students from Asian Business School, PGDM batch 2018-20 and 2019-21. From Asian School of Business, we have the students from BBA course batch 2016-19, 17-20 and batch 18-21. From BCA course, we have batch 17-20 and batch 18-21. From Asian Law College, we have amongst us the students from course LL.B batch 16-21 and from course LL.B batch 17 and 18. Today's ceremony would begin with the invocation of Lord Ganesha, without whose blessings and mercy we wouldn't have reached the heights we have been touching today. I would humbly like to invite our eminent guests on the dais to please come forward for the lamp lighting ceremony.
ये सॉन्ग बोलना था मैं।
On behalf of the Governing Council of Asian Education Group, we would like to welcome our esteemed guests and luminaries present with us today. Mr. Vipul Sabharwal, Managing Director, Luminous Power Technologies Private Limited. We welcome you, sir. Ms. Rachna Sharma, founder Furo Innovations, co-chair Harvard Alumni Entrepreneurs. We welcome you, ma'am. Dr. Sandeep Marwa, President, Asian Education Group. We welcome you, sir. Dr. Sandeep Marwa, with 7 world records in his kitty, stands distinct as the founder of Noida Film City and Marwa Studios. He's the founder-president of AFT, which is one of the 10 best film schools in the world. As the producer of the largest number of short films in the world, he has been associated with innumerable feature films, television programs, and amateur training films. Felicitated with over 900 national and international awards for his contribution to the world of cinema, he has trained over 20,000 media professional students from 145 countries. As Global Cultural Minister, he heads over 100 national and international media and social organizations, besides being president of the International Chamber of Media and Entertainment Industry. At present, he is the Chancellor of AFT University of Media and Arts. He has been nominated as National Chairman for Media and Entertainment Committee in Ministry of Consumer Affairs and Public Distribution, Government of India. Thank you so much, sir, on behalf of all of us for always guiding us for a better future. We would like to welcome our directors, Dr. Lalit Devir Srivastava, Director, Asian Education Group. Mr. Saurabh Sharma, Director, Asian Education Group. Mr. Gurdeep Singh Raina, Director, Asian Education Group. I would now like to invite Dr. Lalit Devi Srivastava, Director, Asian Education Group, to declare the convocation open.
My eminent guest today on the dais, Mr. Vipul and Ms. Rachna, may I please take your permission to declare the convocation open? I declare the convocation 2022 open. Thank you.
On the momentous day of its annual Convocation Ceremony 2022, the 18th of June, members of the Governing Council of Asian Education Group deem it a proud privilege to honor Mr. Vipul Sabharwal, Managing Director of Luminous Power Technologies Private Limited. Mr. Vipul Sabharwal has had a gigantic and vivid career of over 25 years, where he has been contributing as a leader across businesses. He has played prominent business leadership roles in the retail business, thereby acquiring expertise and vast industry knowledge in his field. He is a man of vision and prudence, and his professionalism is something that is beyond words to comprehend. Mr. Sabharwal started his career with TTK as a management trainee and subsequently joined Johnson & Johnson. Taking his professional joint ahead, he joined Gillette India Private Limited, where he worked for 17 years in the sales and marketing function and eventually became the General Sales Director in 2006. Thereafter, the dedication and profound vision of him led him to climb up the ladder from the position of Channel Sales Director to Sales Director in Nokia. Prior to joining the Luminous Power Technologies in September 2014, he also served as the Vice President of Sales and Marketing at Whirlpool Corporation. This is quite an accomplished journey so far and quite a remarkable one. His achievements are but a product of sheer perseverance, hard work, and dedication. A visionary thought leader with expertise in strategic planning, product innovation, driving revenue, building high-performance teams, business transformation, and leadership development. He is much of an example for all of us sitting here, and he has shown us how a man can gain success if he wishes to get it. May the Almighty shower all His blessings on him, and may his intellectual vision prove to be a source of light and fountain of wisdom for all of us. Dr. Lalit Devi Srivastava, Director, Asian Education Group, on behalf of the Governing Council of Asian Education Group, on its auspicious occasion of the Annual Convocation Ceremony 2022, would like to thank Mr. Vipul Sabharwal for consenting to be our honorable guest for the occasion today. I would like to request President, Asian Education Group, Dr. Sandeep Marwah, to please present the scroll of honor to Mr. Vipul Sabharwal.
खींच लो भाई
Thank you so much, sir, for honoring us with your presence today. Ms. Rachna Sharma, on the momentous day of its annual Convocation Ceremony 2022, the 18th of June, members of the Governing Council of Asian Education Group deem it a proud privilege to honor Ms. Rachna Sharma, founder of Furo Innovations and co-chair, Harvard Alumni Entrepreneurs. As a peace expert and expertise having in this domain, Ms. Rachna is now a credible voice in pioneering political peace. She has created a global platform, Furo Innovations, where national and regional, international, political and thought leaders can get together and can work on creating economic interdependence in the region SAARC. She has also compiled a research document on the past, present, and future of peace, emphasizing political peace and how that is measured globally. She is also currently the co-chair of the Harvard Alumni Entrepreneurs India chapter as an alumni volunteer. Ms. Rachna was recognized on LinkedIn in social impact, making her amongst the top 73 profiles in India. She has also authored the hospitality chapter in the book Globalization and Voices from Indian Practitioners in 2013 and several articles for newspapers and online news platforms. Ms. Rachna's previous campaigns were taken as a case study, lectures at prestigious forums like IIT and IIPA. She has also hosted several events for raising awareness of peace. May the Almighty shower His blessings on her, and may her intellectual vision prove to be a source of light and fountain of wisdom for all of us. Dr. Lalit Devi Srivastava, Director, Asian Education Group, on behalf of the Governing Council of Asian Education Group, on its auspicious occasion of the Annual Convocation Ceremony 2022, would like to thank Ms. Rachna Sharma for consenting to be our honorable guest for the occasion. I would like to request our President, Dr. Sandeep Marwah, to please felicitate ma'am with the scroll of honor. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your honored presence. I would now like to invite Mr. Saurabh Sharma, Director, Asian Education Group, to deliver the introduction and welcome address.
Good morning, everyone. Respected Mr. Vipul Sabharwal, Managing Director, Humanist Technologies Private Limited, Ms. Rachna Sharma, Founder, Furo Innovations, Dr. Sandeep Marwa, President, Asian Education Group, my colleagues, Dr. Lalitavir Srivastava and Mr. Gurdeep Singh Raina, faculty and staff members, and you all graduating students. I am feeling today very proud to welcome you all on this auspicious occasion of the annual Convocation Ceremony hosted by Asian Education Group. Today, we are witnessing 700 plus students graduating from Asian Education Group from the field of management, information technology, and law. I think it's not just an accomplishment for you all students, but also for your parents and your loved ones, because I feel without their support, their blessings, this day won't have been possible. See, students, I feel you have achieved a milestone today. And generally, when we talk about or think of what a milestone is, the first general thing which comes to our mind is something what we see on a highway or a roadside, a particular pillar which has something written on it. When you minutely see that, it doesn't show you how much distance you have traveled. It basically shows you how much distance you're supposed to travel ahead. So on this day, probably I would have touched this milestone in your life. You should now start to think of your future and what is the journey like ahead. Because in real life, there are certain examples which we see daily, but have a very deep meaning. The rear view mirror of a car is always smaller than the windshield. Why? Because what lies ahead in the front is more important than what has been left behind. So I would say one step done, one milestone achieved. Now it's time to look ahead in the future. I think what I know is that most of you have already commenced your corporate journey working with multinational companies or certain other firms. Some of you have also been working with certain businesses, be it with your family or certain entrepreneurial ventures. And the legal or the law students have been practicing litigation, working with law firms. There's also a number which is going to be commencing work pretty soon. Now, what I would say is that over these last 16 years of my journey in the educational sector, out of which I've been working with Asian Education Group for the last 14 years, today what I feel like sharing with you is that people like you have already passed out, and I have got the privilege of interacting with them or seeing their journey. Now, the one thing which I can do for you today is that whatever interaction they had with me post-graduating, their experiences, what went good for them, what didn't work for them, probably I can share that with you so that you are able to follow the ones who were successful and you are able to avoid the risks which they took, failed. Maybe you can learn from those and avoid those. So the ones who've already kind of started the journey, see, whenever we start something new, at the initial stage, there are certain challenges. Nothing new is easy at the very first go. When you enter a firm or an office or a MNC or say suppose assisting a prominent lawyer, it won't be a cakewalk. It'll be tough, it'll be challenging. And what those people have told me is that some of them not found the office environment conducive, maybe the way their bosses dealt with them, maybe the way the colleagues tackled them, or the working culture. They were kind of not finding it likable or what they thought it would be. And they even contemplated quitting. The key for the ones who actually became successful after a while was that they kept on moving forward. They persisted. Because giving up is very, very easy. But after a certain point of time, trust me, things start to get slow. Or easy, I would say. Because once you start something, it might be challenging at first. It's as simple a logic which you can see in a day-to-day life. If you plan a road trip with your family or your friends, to touch an 8-lane highway and enjoy that smooth drive on a highway, you will have to cross the messy city traffic. So that initial half an hour, 1 hour which you have to cross will give you something in terms of a pleasure of driving your car at that 8-lane highway. Similarly, in the corporate world, in the legal world, you will find certain challenging situations, but the key is to keep moving forward, and trust me, it's by what they shared with me, and I've also experienced this personally, that eventually things start to get easier within months, within years, and the ones who kind of pass that phase are the ones who achieve that particular success. The other thing I feel looking from here, like probably you can see the dice from there, I have a look from here. I see you all colorfully dressed in these robes. The faculty is wearing the red ones, students in yellow and red. I would say that the picture from this particular side is like you are those colorful kites which are already flying or would very soon fly in the corporate and the legal sky. Now again, something which is a thought which probably came into my mind, which I wanted to share with you, is that at certain stage in your life, all of you must have seen somebody flying a kite, or probably you yourself when you were youngsters must have done that on certain festivals. This is learning as well which you can have from this particular thing. If you are kites, or say suppose if you fly a kite, if it is to be flown, has to be tied to a thread which is to be held by a person standing on the ground. If that thread is cut, though it will fly for some time, maybe a few seconds, but eventually it will cascade down and fall flat on the ground, isn't it? So ultimately, if you are the kites today, what I probably kind of signified you, that thread is your bond with your family, your loved ones, the values they have taught you. Because what happens is when we go into the outside world, there's so much happening, there's so much competition, things happening, and somehow you forget that that particular bond gets cut. It's very important for you to know or to ensure that the thread is there intact. Otherwise, the success you achieve or how high this kite soars in the sky or in terms of the corporate world or the legal world will not matter. Ultimately, it is the kind of blessings they share with you, the kind of connect you have with them, that ultimately will hold the key and would keep you pushing and moving forward. Because see, a tree is only as strong as its roots. So you are at the right stage. Probably these are the things which people shared with me, your seniors or the people who I have met, students after graduating. Probably these couple of things I would want you to not make a mistake at and really keep going within yourself, right? On the side of being one of the directors of Asian Education Group, I trust me feel very proud because 700 plus students graduating today is something which is an achievement. Yes, this pandemic had held us for a while, but then I think we always wanted to not do this online. There was an option of doing this online, but then we really wanted to experience this because if it is a wow emotion for you, trust me, it's a wow emotion for us as well. And it's a feeling of maybe an elder in your family or a parent in your family that we have all sitting here for you people. So with these words, I once again would like to congratulate all of you for achieving this wonderful accomplishment today. And I hope that you achieve a lot of success in your life ahead. All the best and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for such powerful words. I would like to invite Dr. LL.B. Srivastava for the award of diplomas and present the academic report.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is, as usual, indeed a pleasure to host you all for this convocation ceremony. And I always take that proud privilege of welcoming the guest on the dais, Mr. Vipul Sabharwal, Ms. Rachna Sharma, Dr. Sandeep Marwa, Mr. Saurabh Sharma, Mr. Gurdeep Singh Raina, and my deans and principals sitting with us, sharing the dais with us, Mr. T.N. Prasad, Dr. T.N. Prasad, Principal ALC, Dr. Maruf Ahmed Mir, Dean ASB, Dr. Shweta Batra, Dean Examination, Mr. Ashish, Head ALC, Dr. Sunita Verma, Dean Student Welfare Department, Ms. Garima Malhotra, Ms. Preeta Rajiv Raman, Mr. Ravi Sharma, the Dean for CRC, Dr. Preeti Sharma, and Ms. Shipra Srivastava. These are the people with whom this day would not have been possible in your life as well as in the life of AEG. And my dear faculty members who are sitting right there, I extend my gratitude to all of you for spreading that word of wisdom and the light to the students so that they are able to achieve and are sitting there in this convocation and being graduated. So I would like all of you to give a round of applause as a gratitude to your teachers who have actually made this day possible for all of you. Yes, of course, this is your day, and you are graduating today or getting your earned diplomas and the certificates and the degrees today. But as rightly said, this is, please remember the people who have been there helping, guiding you for achieving what you have achieved today. So I would request again all of you to pay gratitude to your parents, friends, and whosoever who has made it possible for you to study, earn, and then become financially independent individuals today. So a round of applause for your parents and
कैसे हो रहे हैं अभी कितने
this day ideally becomes a nostalgic one for, I guess, all of us sitting here on the dais and the teachers. Why? Because this day in particular, though this is happening after 3 years, 2019, that we did our last convocation this way. We did it online in between for a batch, but then everybody, whosoever we asked this time around to go for online convocation, people said no. So thankfully, COVID is also, not that rigorous as of now. So we thought of doing it and calling all of you and have a connect with all of you today. So when I'm standing here, seeing each one of you, some of the faces, are being recognized, right? And then it takes us back to the stories of the days when you were there in the campus. So all those requests of last moment leave application approval from Dr. Maruf especially, and then all those long queues in front of Dr. Sunita Verma's cabin, right? So those are, I guess, a lot of struggle that you guys have done apart from studying in this campus. So yes, it is, it gives, like a reel, it runs in front of us, standing here, your journey in Asian Education Group, and then 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, BA LL.B is a huge journey. And this time, believe us, whatever bonding you have got with the institution, we have got better bondings with you. And I feel proud to say that each one of us in this campus have, passed out with the great achievements. Academically, if I talk about majority of the people in PGDM have got more than 6 CGPA. So, and that is, the toppers have even at the score of 8 or 8.9 CGPA, which is huge. Even for the undergraduate courses like BBA, BCA, BLLB, LLB, it was wonderful to see the university results where we ideally could not do much. But yes, seeing your enthusiasm and then interest for learning, which is very important. The way you guys have scored in your additional diplomas and certification courses which were being arranged to you for developing your skill set and making you a different individual from the people or the students passing out from the different colleges. You all have scored wonderfully well, and I guess that has developed the right kind of a skill set with all of you. So my gratitude and my round of applause to you for achieving, those good grades and making the Asian Education Group to a bigger heights of academic achievements. Similarly, I understand the undergraduate courses, people, some of BBA, BCA, if I talk about, some have gone for the higher education, some have been associated with their family business. But whosoever has asked for the placement assistance has been given, and you guys have, started working in the corporate world. Similar is with the law graduates. Some of you are working, some of you are going for the higher studies. But then, yes, a great achievement of doing a professional course and then becoming financially independent individual. This word I keep talking right from the day of orientation, if you remember, that when you are doing a professional course, you are doing it with a single objective of becoming financially independent individuals. And I'm happy that all of you, whether working, not working, or have a different goal in your life, but have become financially independent individuals. So my congratulations to all of you on this, and a word of thanks to Mr. Ravi Sharma for taking those efforts, and the team of CRC, those who have taken those efforts to make you placeable and arrange placements for you guys, and the CSD as the department, Center for Skill Development, who has actually worked upon grooming you professionally and helped you become placeable during the course of your courses. So the journey has started. You always are out in the world, out in the air, and the only suggestion or the guidance that I have with you guys, long back when I was working in corporate. So I was working for a Swiss company called Schweiss, and that was that time introducing the non-ionic form of iron in India, and I was doing the major research work on the same. So a lot of studies, a lot of research that we had gone through. Then there was a learning that came that I remember very clearly even today, that the maximum growth of the brain of an individual happens in first 10 years of his life. Why I'm talking about this today is because then the further studies, why is the reason that it happens so? It happens so because during that time, the child is very inquisitive about anything and everything which is in his surrounding. Be it a socket where he tries to put his fingers, be it a lizard, be it a ant, and anything and everything that he's inquisitive about what it is, right? And wants to know about it. That is how the people suggest that in those 10 years of life, initial 10 years of life, the child should be exposed to maximum of the things and the places, right? The moment you go out, he would find new things and observe and develop the brain cells, new brain cells. That is the system of the human body, right? So that learning comes, and from that learning, those brain cells are activated. When I connected to the individual human beings, even at the age that I'm standing at, the learning remains the same. So if you can, my suggestion is, if you can keep that child alive in you throughout your life, you would always be open to learning, and then you would always be open to generate those new brain cells and improve your intelligent quotient. So that is something that you ideally need to be very particular about learning. Learning is something that we say, okay, we have passed out, then need not study anymore. But then learning is, make learning a continuous part of your life, daily routine, exposed to new situations, right? When you are going to the corporate, this life is all about, handling the situations. You don't know what mood your boss would be today, right? You only get to know when you interact with him, and then you handle the situation that way and, take care. And then a lot of new learnings that come every day out of your work. So work more, observe more. I look at it, the more you work, irrespective of your job role or responsibility or something, the more you work, that is your self-development. right? And people say it hard work. Yes, it is hard work because you are putting that extra effort and then learning, contributing to the growth of the organization, and more than that, you are contributing for yourself, right? So please keep these two things in your mind. And the third thing that I always say is, be yourself. Remember who you are. Remember who your parents are. Remember what is your background, where you come from, what are your cultural values, what are your human values, and be human. Right? The moment you are not copying anybody, you are not making somebody your role model, you'll grow faster than anybody. Why? Because you are working on your individuality and you are showing your own talent. So this mix of things, would always keep you different, a professional, and then, help you grow. Then another piece of advice is that be teachers. It's not that you are going and teaching in some school or something, but whatever knowledge, whatever wisdom that you have, keep sharing. Learning and sharing makes the individual growth far better and faster than you can even think of. So with those words, I would like to wish you all the very best in your future, and you achieve the heights and take the name of flag of AEG to the higher levels, and assure you that any given time of your life, as an alumni, please stay connected. We are there to help you. We are there to guide you any which ways which is possible for you for your professional growth. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for envisioning the students. I would now like to invite Dr. Sandeep Marwa, President, Asian Education Group, to please address the gathering.
Good afternoon, everyone. What a pleasure to be here this afternoon with all of you on such a beautiful event. Let me start with two of my favorite lines. कि सभी दिशाओं से शुभ सुंदर भाव विचार भरे नित अंतर पुण्य धरा बन जाए स्वर्ग ये मेरे यत्नों से करुणा कर. Respected Vipul Sabharwal ji, Rachna ji, Dr. Lalita Shrivastava, Saurabh ji, Gurdeep ji, all the deans, faculty, and my dearest most students. What I'm trying to tell you in these two lines, whether it is north, south, east or west, whether you are in India or abroad, whether you are on the top of the hill or you are standing at a seashore, whether you are in a lush green garden and looking at some colorful flowers, or maybe looking at the most beautiful woman on earth, the fact is there are two things which are much more beautiful than what you can see with your naked eyes. And these two things are your thinking and your feelings. And the best part is that both the things are right within you. You don't even need eyes for that. On this very auspicious day, let's pray, hey Lord, give me good thinking, give me good feelings so that I can do good deeds, and through my good karmas, I would love to convert this earth into heaven. This is what I believe. I'm sure you will also believe in the same. Well, I'm recollecting another two very important lines. कि काम शुरू करते नहीं भय से नीचे लोग मध्यम तजते बीच में देख विषम संयोग पर उत्तम वे लोग जो हर दुर्गम पथ झेल दृढ़ता से बढ़ते कदम बाधाओं को ठेल. And before I give you the explanation of these two lines, let me admit that I belong to films, television, media, art and culture and education fraternity, and these are the industries where we have never ever bothered to divide the society on the basis of caste, creed, religion, region, status, color. Never. We have only one dharma, and that is called growth. Remember that. Only one dharma. But still I have gone out of way to divide the society on the basis of these very three important segments. काम शुरू करते नहीं bhai se niche log. Who are the people who belong to downtrodden community? People who have 100 excuses for one job. Remember that. If you have all the time excuses for one or another job, you will be called a person of a downtrodden community, the C class, the outrated class of this country, and I'm sure you will never like to be part of that. Please be away from these kind of people because they never grow in life and they will never let you grow in life. You have to be, please, away from these people. They are the black snakes of the society. Madhyam tajte beech mein dekh visham sanyog. Who are the people who belong to B class, second class? People with little push and pull may get into some work, may be innovative, may try to get into something new. But the minute they see a bit of the hindrance, they try to run away from the battlefield. I have categorized all these people into B class. Par uttam ve log jo har durgam pat chhel. Who are the people who belong to A class? People who have a zest, enthusiasm, excitement, energy, innovative ideas. They want to do something great. They want to show to the world that they can do it. They really want to prove that they are nationalists. People who have supporting attitude. People who really want to do and prove themselves in life. People who have targets, goals in life. I have categorized all these kind of people who are hardworking, honest to their profession. Yes, I've categorized these kind of people into the people of first class, and the one common thing which I have found in all these people is a very strong determination, dridhata, which is required to be successful in life. And what a pleasure today to share dice with these kind of people. Let's give a big hand to our honorable guests today. They are the real achievers, the people from the first class. And trust me, this is what I am looking right in front of my eyes, and I can see ample people who are going to be from the first class segment in a shortest period of time. So big clap for you too, man. I'm very happy. My Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, has given a beautiful word to this nation, and this word is called Atmanirbhar. Yes, if you look at the meaning of this word, it says self-reliant or maybe a self-sufficient. But then I have specially carved a new definition for all of you for today. Yes, we all have to be Atmanirbhar in a time to come, but this Atmanirbhar has a different definition today, my dear friends, because when I say A stands for being ambitious. You all have to be very ambitious in life. Very important. It's a time for all of you to dream big, think big. Because if you think big, you grow big, you become big, because your targets are big and you want to achieve big. So the charity begins at home. There's no tax right now. There's no GST in dreaming, mind you. So start thinking big for yourself. Dreams are not the one which comes in your sleep. Dreams are the one which never let you sleep. That kind of dreams you have to start, my dear friends. And if you're ambitious, trust me, one good day, you're going to be a big man. Remember that, or a big woman. When I say T stands for techno-savvy. Very important. Things are changing very fast, my dear friends. And if you're not going to be techno-savvy, you will be much, much behind than your competitors. So start learning more. There are a large number of things which are coming up. Even I don't know what technology is going to be there in the next 5 years. Very fast. This pandemic has taught us a lot, mind you. But then remember that technology is changing very, very fast. Blockchain is going to take over the country in just few months. You'll be surprised कि ये तो पढ़ाया ही नहीं. So it's very important to update yourself. And the cryptocurrency and the artificial intelligence, which is going to take over the whole world in a shortest period of time. So you have to upgrade yourself by reading, by studying, by researching, and learn more so that you can stay back into the industry for a larger number of years. When I say M stands for being motivated. Very important. I'm very well traveled. I've been to large number of countries. I have seen best of the shopping malls of the world, and anywhere and everywhere I've been, I have always asked for one very important thing, and I'm ready to pay any price for it, but it's so sad that I never could buy that, which is called motivation. It's not available anywhere. The motivation is right within you. Develop that energy, that excitement, that enthusiasm, which is key to success. And develop that power within your own self and prove to the world that you are a motivated worker. Whether you're working for your own self or you're working for any company. Remember that. If you're a motivated, self-disciplined student, trust me, anyone and everyone would love to work with you. And you will get your promotions very fast. And then when I say next A in Atmanirbhar, A stands for attitude. If higher the ambition, then remember that sober the attitude. You have to be polite, down to earth, supporting, helpful, very important. Now these are the things which are required to build up a wonderful character of a wonderful worker. You will get your best employee or employer or whatever you say awards every year. And yes, you have to be compassionate. These are the characteristics which are covered in an attitude. So remember that this A, which stands for attitude. The next is N. N stands for being nationalist. Remember that. Very important. Remember that you have to feel very patriotic, very nationalist. You have to love your country. You have to love your countrymen. Because if you have that kind of a feeling, you will grow much, much faster than your own expectations. That's what is needed. जिस ओर चले हम मस्ती में झुक जाए उधर अंबर बुतल आजाद वतन के वाशिंदे हर गीत हमारा है बादल विविध प्रांत है अपनी अपनी भाषा के अभिमानी हम लेकिन सबसे पहले दुनिया वालों हिंदुस्तानी हैं remember that I'm wherever I go, first I'm Indian, then I'm probably chancellor or a chief scout or a president of an education setup or whatever it is. All these things matter much later. The first thing which matters is that I am an Indian. And if you have that kind of a feeling, you will be surprised that people will automatically come to you for support. When I say I, next I stands for ICE. It's the age of ICE. Remember, ICE, information, communication, and entertainment. And I rather request you, keep a slot for your entertainment. Do not overburden yourself. Do not bother extraordinary. Must keep a slot for you for entertainment, which is need of the day, because that makes you a better person, and that makes you a more active and a powerful person. But then C stands for communication. You will be measured with what you are talking, remember. आपकी बोली क्या है? बोली एक अनमोल है, जो कोई बोले जान, हिये तराजू तौल के तब मुख बहारान. ऐसी बानी बोलिए, मन का आपा खोए, और उनको शीतल करे, और खुद भी शीतल हो. Yes, your communication is going to matter a lot. Your caliber, again C, will be measured much later, but your communication will be identified in the first go. So try to be nice to people, try to be good to people, wholeheartedly, because that must reflect your genuinity, your originality, which is needed. And when I say I means information. It's age of information, and there's a bombardment of information from all the corners of the world. So you have to be intelligent enough, again to see to it that what information is required and what information not required. Don't get carried away with extra information. Very important again. When I say R stands for research. That's a very common habit in India. We never go for research. Though we have a subject, we have a research center, we have been talking about it throughout 2 years and 3 years of education, but still we are in a bad habit of not to get into the research when we start new job, new work. Get into the habit of research. And when I say research, get into the history of a product, history of the company, history of the person, what happened in the last few years on that subject, on that industry, so that you have enough knowledge to talk about a subject. Enough. You don't have to be a master of every subject, but you have to have knowledge of that subject. You should be able to converse with people on that subject. You should not be called buddhu. You should be called intelligent. That is what is required today. So grasp best of the information possible from all the angles, from all the disciplines. So what if you have done only a business or a management course or a law course? Try to gather more information on more different subjects, and that will be called a part of your research too. When I say B, B stands for belief. Believe in yourself. Dr. Lalita has just mentioned. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your parents. You have to believe in your teachers. You have to believe in your institution. You have to believe in your establishment. You have to believe in your government. You have to trust people. When you trust people, people will start trusting you. And that becomes the wonderful base of your growth. So that quality starts developing from today itself. The H stands for humanity. If you have learned everything, if you have scored best, but if you are not a good human being, everything is a disaster, everything is a failure. Nothing will be appreciated. So you have to put in some efforts to become a nice human being. The definition for good human being can be different with everyone separately. But in principle, when I say good human being, that means you have to be helpful, supporting, you have to be motivating, you have to appreciate people, very important. So try to be good human being, good son, good brother, good friend, and I think you know rest very well. When I say A, there's another A in Atmanirbhar. Now this time A stands for all-rounder. Yes, it's an age of specialization, but then people are still preferring those people who are ready to work, all sort of work, given or deputed to them at one given time. मैं नहीं कर सकता, मेरा काम नहीं है, मुझे बताया नहीं था. Sorry, gone are the days. If you're on one particular seat, then you have to see what is going on around you, and you should be capable enough to even take those kind of things into your hand and show your responsibility to the organization, whether it's your own organization or you're working for someone else. Try to be all-rounder, try to learn things which are not even matter to you on a day-to-day basis. This is what all-rounder is all about. And the last but not the least is R, Atmanirbhar, and this R stands for result-oriented. Very important. एक आदमी को मैंने पैसे दिए कि साहब ये पत्थर शाम तक हटा देना. बहुत बड़ा पत्थर था, मैं आपको इतने रुपए दे दूंगा. वो सारा दिन लगा रहा. जब मैं शाम को वापस आया तो उसने कहा साहब मेरी दिहाड़ी दे दीजिए. मैंने कहा पत्थर कितना खिसका? कह रहा पत्थर खिसक ही नहीं सका. It's not even moved half an inch. So remember that small, I'm not narrating a big story, it's a shortcut, but then idea, you have picked up the idea that if there is no result, no will be appreciated. And result can be that you have built up a wonderful relation with someone, you have impressed someone, you have created a goodwill for your company or for the one which you're working for, you have actually finished some work on the table, but there must be something which you have finished. So wait till you finish something, then you say it's a day is off or is over. So that kind of a sense, quality, you have to develop within yourself to be called successful professional. Well, I'm very happy that it's a beautiful day and I'm feeling a proud father of 700 students who are passing out today. It's a day of celebration, but somewhere in heart, we are also feeling a little pain of ये जो जुदाई का आलम है, ये बड़ा खतरनाक होता है. और वो फीलिंग यहाँ बार बार आ रही है, दर्द सा हो रहा है, आंखों में हल्का सा पानी भी है. आपकी जुदाई का ये आलम बर्दाश्त करना पड़ता है. My dear friends, but I know that the product which is coming out from Asian Education Group is going to create a wonderful records outside. Our students have done extremely well. Wherever they have gone, they have proved themselves that they are the real masters. And I know that even you are going to be part of the same motivated team. मैं एक दफा जोर से बोलूँगा, आप मेरे साथ एक साथ नारा लगाएंगे कि मैं बोलूँगा yes, we can do it. You will repeat it कि yes, I will do it. Yes, I can do it. Yes, I can do it. बड़ा स्लो था यार. Yes, I can do it. Yes, I can do it. Fantastic. This is what is required. This is energy which is required. और इसके बाद मैं बोलूँगा भारत माता की और आप जय बोलेंगे भारत माता की. Fantastic. This is the energy which I want you to carry from this institution and prove to the world that you can Do it. Last line for all of you कि विभासित कर गगन भूतल, तिमिर को ज्योति देता चल, निराशा के अंधेरे को मिटा दे ले प्रभंजन बल. कहीं पूनम अमावस्या, कहीं उलझन, कहीं फिसलन, कहीं कांटे, कहीं पहरा कटिल बंधन. यहाँ प्रतिकूल है सब कुछ, कहीं मरुस्थल, कहीं बादल, मगर तू मुस्कुराता चल, दिशाएं हो उठे उज्जवल. मगर तू मुस्कुराता चल, दिशाएं हो उठे उज्जवल. जय हिंद.
Thank you so much, sir, for, I think, exuberating each one of us with this much of positivity, energy, and yes, of course, a motivation which you mentioned cannot be bought, but we can take it from here. Thank you. I would now like to request Ms. Rachna Sharma, founder Furo Innovations and co-chair Harvard Alumni Entrepreneurs, to deliver her address.
Good afternoon. I see very low energy in this room. You guys are graduating today. Come on. 3 cheers for Asian Education Group. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Very good. So Asian Business School, Miss Dr. Sandeep Marva, President Asian Education Group, Dr. Lalit V. Srivastava, Director Asian Education Group, Director Asian Education Group, Mr. Gurdeep Singh Raina, and Mr. Ravi Sharma, Dean Corporate Resource Cell. And of course, another guest of honor, my counterpart today, Mr. Vipul Sabharwal, Managing Director, Luminance Power Technologies, and all the faculty members, or every mentor, every senior, junior, students passing out today. I'm absolutely delighted and honored to be a part of this gathering. And I only picked up everything that everyone else mentioned here. So right from Mr. Srivastava's speech of childhood epigenetics, he tried to tell you how important it was in your childhood to be inquisitive and to put your finger in that socket and get an electric shock. How many of you got it? Many, right? And of course, going from there to what your own president said about dreaming, about attitude, about compassion, and being a nationalist, right? So what can I tell you? I can tell you about how do you develop these things, and I can give you some techniques that perhaps when you go back today, you can internalize some of them and really make sure that whatever your seniors taught you, you're able to become that leader today from years from now. So to start with, what is a country? We just spoke about Jai Hind, Bharat Mata Ki Jai. What is it being a nationalist? What is it? A country is not in isolation, just infrastructure, or just my roads and transport and highway and just some startup India initiatives and all of that. What is it? It's every country's basis. Any developed country, the basis of globalization has been education. Education is priceless, my dear students. And today you are at the threshold when you have these degrees which you want to get out in that corporate market, in that entrepreneurial ecosystem of your country, and you want to encash them, right? Now, how do you do that? You have to really think today that 1900s, we developed the best freedom fighters in this country. Did we or did we not? It was about freedom fighters, right? And 47s, it was about surviving. We just survived, and we really took this poor country and we made it today what we are. And those were our visionary thought leaders. And you guys you took birth in 20s, right? 20,000s, whatever. I don't know how old are you. All of us must be around 20. So you have taken birth in a very, very interesting point in this history of this country, because it's about technology. It's about blockchain. It's about NFT. It's about cryptocurrency. And somehow our education system is yet not there in India as to what the future jobs are going to be. It's about consciousness. It's about the next stage of evolution, not only in the world, but also in humanity. So how are you going? How are you prepared? Are you really prepared? Is this a question? You want to ask yourself a question. Who am I? Who am I? What do I want? It's very important to know. Where am I? I'm standing in this Ambedkar Center today. I'm sitting. Where do I want to be? And these two questions, who am I, where am I, and where I want to be, it's a huge gap. And that gap you can fill if you have three important things that I'm going to tell you about from the speeches of your honorable, management. So it was about dreaming, right? How many of you are dreamers in this room? Come on, give me a shout out. All of you are dreamers, right? How do you dream? So dreaming is important, right? Got it? And after dreaming, what is important is that you're resilient. This is a competency that is required now in the future. And besides being a dreamer and a resilient, you have to be a genius. So these three things, if you go out in the corporate market, when you were a child, you were in a very limited atmosphere. You were talking to your neighbors, you were talking to your cousins, you were talking to your family, and you were always dreaming big, right? You were enacting like a leader, you had a role model, I want to be the president of India, this is how that leader, all of you must be doing mimicry at home on your dining tables. I'm sure you had those days with your cousins when you've gone on a play date and you pretend play to be the next prime minister of this country and all of that, right? But when we grow up, the world becomes a very large platform. And then comes the criticism. And then there is competition. And then there is lack of resource and so many other things. So our dreams start really shrinking. As the conversations develop, as we start getting more exposed to the world and we are talking to more people, like you come to the campus and you have 600, 700 people here, this is just very limited again. When you go out, it's an open market. It's an open market. So how will you dream, right? One is that you go back to your childhood and dream exactly, pretend play of what you were doing when you were a child. And when you pretend play, you will think something, right? When you're dreaming, you're thinking something. And now, what you are thinking, you need to know what you're thinking. It's called knowing. And how do you know what you're thinking? What is knowing means what is required to do that, what I'm doing right now, in pretend play, in this dream stage. How does it become reality? It only becomes reality if I have the knowledge. How do you become a knowledge? So today, I'll give you an example. Now, all you have to do is, you're in the stage of internet, right? So just go Google how Singapore was created. Who created Singapore? Who put the flag there? How is it a leading economy today? It's all available. And if you have an excuse that I don't have time, I'm a corporate now, I have a 12-hour job, how do I do that? Then have a mentor. Because this is a very, very critical time for you. So if you do not to read 5 hours a day or to go through, those online master classes or those 30-second clips, then have a mentor, because a mentor has already that experience, has already done what you are looking at doing in your life. And he can tell you the same thing, this Singapore story, in 15 minutes. Perhaps that will take you otherwise days of reading. Okay? So number one, dreaming, having a mentor is very important. Number two, how do you become resilient? It's about knowing your strengths and weaknesses. It's about knowing your skill set. It's about knowing your competencies. Please put that down on a piece of paper. Please put that down on a piece of paper and see, where am I today? What are my skill sets? What am I good at? What is my competency? Competency is your attitude, like what Mr. Marva just mentioned. What is it? What is my strength? What is my weakness? Do I really know it? And does it fit into my current profile? And does it fit into where I want to be 5 years from now? Because you're enacting like a leader. So you have to develop. Remember, if I say that I have become very compassionate just because thinking and saying I've become compassionate, compassion does not come. It's just an example. So how will it come? It will come when 5 years you will continuously practice compassion, and there will be a good day and a bad day and worse day. Every day is not same when you go out. So that's the time when you practice. 5 years from now, this is what I need. This is where I want to be. And that's what you will practice day in and day out. And you might fail, but you have to be like that rubber ball. What is it called? The harder I fall, the higher, come on, it's not my convocation, yours. Show me some energy. So the harder I fall, the higher I rise. That's called resilience. This is called resilience. So dreaming and resilience. And number 3 was genius. How do you become genius? How do you become genius? When these two things are really working in sync, you actually are a genius. Because you have the knowledge. You're dreaming. You have the knowledge. You're not only a dreamer who's dreaming on a sofa and just doing nothing about it. You are doing things about it. You're thinking, you're knowing, you have case studies, your biographies, you're on the resources, there are educations, online, so many of them available. Whichever competency, whatever you want today, guys, you are in this interesting era, it's just there on Google. Just do it. Just do it. And after that, whatever map you create for yourself for 5 years, I'm not even saying create 10 years map, and practice that day in and day out. When you do that, you are going to be a genius. Trust me, in every moment you will be a genius, and that genius will transform into a very, very good leader. And that's a part of evolution. And I'll leave you guys today with an example of ostrich. How many of you know ostrich? Yeah? An ostrich, it feeds on the ground because it's very comfortable. But they have wings. And you know that in the age of dinosaurs, they used to fly because the dinosaurs were always after them. But so remember one thing, always be that ostrich, and always remember there is a dinosaur. That is your own lazy self, which is going to stop you from doing everything that all of us are telling today. Because if you don't practice any of this, you are going to be just dreaming on a sofa. And that's not going to take you anywhere. So all the best. And use every technique that I have given you for your own betterment. Try to evolve as a human being. Try to develop yourself, not only commercially. This education is commercial. You also have other education, which is about your character, which is about your spirit. Please try to develop them. Become a holistic person. Because only a holistic person takes brilliant decisions. And those decisions are not only going to impact you and your life and your career and your families, but also impact our country. And today, in 2022 and 50 years from now, we need innovators in this country who can take us to another level. So level up your thinking, guys, and hip hip hooray again. All the best.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing such wonderful lessons for the students to take home today. I would now like to request Mr. Gurdeep Singh Raina, Director, Asian Education Group, to deliver his address.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected Dr. Vipul Sabharwal ji, Rachna Sharma ji, Dr. Sandeep Marwa, Dr. Lalit Srivastava ji, Saurabh Sharma ji, and learned faculty members and management staff and my dear students. It is a great honor for me to address the convocation ceremony of all graduating students at present here today. It's a great achievement for each one of you for successfully completing your journey at Asian Education Group. This day marks a major milestone in not just in your life, but also for your parents, guardians, and the faculty member who have nurtured you and supported you throughout your journey at Asian Education Group. Student, I'm sure that with all this great impact in the outside world in the near future, I feel lucky that at that time I would be able to say that I was here when all you are graduated. As you would be exploring new path and horizon from now on, you will be get to choose between two options several times. That is taking risk and regret. Trust me, taking risk is always better than regret, not doing something you want to do. With no major liabilities and responsibilities, this is the best time with you all to pursue your dreams and achieve your goals. One more important thing I want to tell you is that all you, throughout your life, you will be an option of surrounding with your peoples, with you get better in life, who will be smarter, intelligent than you. Hence, you would challenge you to think better. And on the other side, there will be people who will take you backward in life and will make you feel that you are a smarter person in the room. You should always choose to be the former, and because all are always the average of 10 people around you. Also try to make travel as an integral part of your life, travel as much as you can, and that it gives you a valuable experience and learning. And remember that education is a lifetime experience. It does not stop in the college, at university. It just starts here. So keep educating and investing in yourself at every stage of life ahead. As the best investment you can ever make in yourself. Student, on the behalf of Asian Education Group, I wish you all happiness and success. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a warm address. I would like to request Mr. Vipul Sabharwal, Managing Director, Luminous Power Technologies, to deliver his convocation address.
Very clearly, I hope it's not going to be boring. I know you guys are now waiting to outside and take the pictures. You've been wearing the hat, which must be very uncomfortable by now. But I'm sure it's a great day, and I think I won't take very long. But a few very simple messages I'd like to share with you out of my 40 years of experience working in the corporate world. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, fellow students and respected parents. I think it's a great day for you here today. Cherish it, enjoy it, memorize it. Whatever is in your heart, say to yourself that you have did a very, very big achievement to make it here today. I would like to pay my respect and thanks to the distinguished academics who are on the dais today, to my fellow speaker, Dr. Ms. Rachna, and a very, very special thanks to Dr. Sandeep Marva for creating this great institution here today, for which you are very, very privileged to come and study. I think a big round of applause for Dr. Sandeep Marva. I would also like to thank Mr. Ravi Sharma, Dean of the Corporate Resource Cell, who has been very persistent and very, very dedicated to make this conversation a big success for you people. A very big round of applause for him. I think today, Dr. Sandeep Marva talked about Atmanirbhar and building the nation. I think it's a very proud moment for us to be here today, to see what India is today. But I think this is not the end. This is not even the start. I think the start is yet to happen. So dream of that India and of that future which is yet to happen, which is before you people. It was not long before. I think maybe about 4 decades ago, I was in one of the seats listening to a sense of direction and people speaking out. But I think I've also been here as an aspiring parent to attend my children's convocation. But I think these days are very memorable, very, very close to our heart, so cherish them as we go along. I'm equally a student and I'm learning. As a speaker, even today when I learn, I try to read a lot in whatever time I get. But I think the most important thing I would say is that I'm not going to offer you big advice. I'm just going to offer you small pieces and nuggets of what I would say might be helpful to you, may not be helpful to you. So take it in that spirit and invite. As I am also transforming from being an active leader, from being a managing director, I am handing over to somebody. I'm going to transition to a coach, to like supporting an organization achieve its goal. I'm also assimilating my thoughts, and some of the thoughts I'm going to share with you in this room here today. My first learning is of gratitude. One must always have gratitude, and the first set of gratitude we must offer to our parents who brought us today in this world here. But more than that, I think the second gratitude also goes to the parents who have made the hard choices to fund the education. It's not only fund, they had many other choices to make in their life, but they chose that one of the choices they will make for you is to give you the best in class education. So I think the second gratitude goes for them, and a very, very big round of applause for all the parents who are here but maybe available digitally. My second gratitude, and always be, and I'm sure this is very, very philosophical today here. Some of you do, some of you don't, but I think in every way, is to thank Almighty, is to thank God, because He's a very silent navigator of where He believes you should be. Many a times we believe, I should have got 98, I got 95. What happened? Maybe there is a destiny for you. Everybody has a destiny, and believe you me, if you're conscientious, if you're honest, you'll make it there. And have the second biggest gratitude is to Almighty, and say, thank you God for me being here today and for making me there. And my third gratitude is to all the teachers, all the faculty members who are here today, who are maybe on the dais, maybe in the audience, maybe a school teacher, maybe a nursery teacher, who have also made a choice to take a profession to teach you. And I think a very big round of applause for the academia and the room today. And I would once again thank Dr. Sandeep Marwa for creating these institutions and building in them. Everybody has a choice of what they want to do. Some will go and open industries, some will go and open a factory, some will open up research centers. But to go in the field of education, which is a very, very important requirement of nation building, a big salute to you, sir. A great job done, sir. My second learning, I think talked a lot about in the day today, is about dreaming big. It's about dreaming big. And I go back, I was invited to a company program, and they asked me to write about the life journey we have been through. And I said, what a boring job. I have to go to Paris to attend this seminar, and this paper, people have said I want some 2,000 words, life journey. I could have gone and done some meetings, chased some targets, driven some committees. But then I sat back and I must compliment. It was my team assistant who said, no, sir, you need to write. There's a job list. This has to go. I remember very well. She really pushed me. And I actually sat back and started writing it down. And I think some great thoughts came to mind. And I would request all of you, whenever you get time, write a paragraph. Write small nuggets. Stories are important in life, not only to share, but to your own self. Very important to do that. I think I was born very, very vividly. I don't remember, but it was 4th of August 1961. I actually went back and said, how was my childhood? Born to a humble set of parents who were all settlers from Pakistan, who came and started building a new India, a new nation, a new Bharat for them. And for them, the dream for the child, for the only son, and the dream for the country were in complete harmony. They were in complete harmony. I remember all the discussions we used to have in our house. Both my parents would say they were very rich, all the wealth, nothing but started. But they never were disheartened. They never shared their disheartening with me. And they always had one dream, one dream, which was break the barrier of the past and secure the future. Break the barrier of the past. Let not the past worry you, but secure your future. I think their tan, man, dhan, जो उनके हाथ में था, उन्होंने education में लगाया. They put me in the best of schools. I think significantly way ahead of their resources. And I'm a proud, child out here, maybe tears in my eyes. People talk of women empowerment, people give lectures of women empowerment. And I look back, and I'm talking of 1961, which is just 10 years after potentially we got India independent. All the three sisters worked. They all worked. And my mother worked in a corporate job from 9 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock in the evening in 1955. To me, this women empowerment is a very fashionable word. I think it's all equals. How we see it, how we enrich it, how we go for it, and how we respect it is all in our hands. So I think they were the people. To all the women, to all the mothers in the country, a big round of salute. I think I'm a product of their dreams. They dreamt big. They dreamt what they wanted me to be. But I'm sure you will experience it. There'll be many disappointments. I'm sure in my journey in school, many grades didn't come their way. Many classroom teachers did not speak the right words, but they never left behind. Okay, I was a failure. They said, okay, keep going for it and keep achieving it and keep going out there. And I think in my life, I owe a lot to my family, to my children, to my wife, to my mentors, to my friends who always stood behind me in those dreams. So I think big round of applause for all the people who are with me. My third learning is about companionship. Now this is a very, provocative situation in today's internet world. I remember as a small child, I would go from home, carry that, whole jar of, to buy milk, and had a friend with me. We would walk up to the mother dairy, buy the milk, come back home, give it to my mom. And I think those half an hour, those two friends, what we discussed, are still very memorable and very vivid. And I think companionship is important. In the today's internet world, and I think because of the pandemic and the COVID-19, a lot has been taken away from us. Go back and restore it. I think the main ethos is to have good company. And good company is not people who sing praises for you. Good company is people who are being a good sounding board for you. Have good friends, have good companionship, who are always there to give you the right set of advice. Not always good, not always bad, but to be a very, very good sounding board for you. Develop it is difficult at times in a competitive world to say, how do I do it? If I share, will somebody get ahead of me? Not me, but it's difficult at this age to recognize it, but I think companionship is very important. Develop it, nurture it, and invest in it. It's very important. It will play you a long way as you will go along to build a career. You enter in the corporate world, some of you already have jobs, some of you have already started practicing, but build the companionship in that way. My fourth one, much talked about, is about value systems. I went to a school which is run by the church, and I think maybe class 7 or class 8. They used to have a class called moral science. There used to be a very thin book, maybe 40, 50 pages, 100 pages. There used to be a history teacher or a civics teacher who would come and take a class on moral science. And I sort of wonder why this is being taught. This is such one of the most boring classes. But I think much after I left school, much after I left college, when the struggle happened in life, and believe me, you will have the struggles in your life. Don't ever believe you will not have struggle. There are certain value systems you'll have to lean upon. And those will be very important steps in your life. Debate them, ingrain them, whatever they are. I'm not going to say that a set of value systems are good, these are bad, or these are good, or these are bad. There is no good and bad. It's your own value system. Debate it, discuss it, but live by it. It will come in handy to you in a long way in your career, and I think it's important to have the value system, but more importantly, to live by them. And that's important. My last one, and this is really a revelation out of the COVID-19, is to build relationships and interdependence. I was really humbled when I met a nursery teacher who teaches class 3 and class 4 children during the COVID period. And she was very upset. I asked her, why? What is? She said, the most important ages of a human being's development, of a child's development, have been taken away from them by keeping them at home. I said, you have online. This is not about online. It's not about the child. It's about learning social skills at the age of 5, 6, and 7. I said, why do you say that? He said, when they come to school, when they come to a nursery class, they learn that my success and my happiness is not only dependent upon me, but others in the class. Others children in the class. How they help me, how my happiness, how my success depends upon me. In today's digital world, people have different views. I respect it, but I think must learn to depend on interdependence and build those skill sets of social skill sets to learn that somebody else is an important part of my success and I am an important part of somebody else's success. Individualism is important, pardon me, but I think learning to work with other people and being part of teams. Sometimes you will be leader, sometimes you will not be leader. Sometimes you will be a follower. And learn that. I think it will come in very, very handy to you as you enter the corporate world in many, many spheres out there. With this, I'm going to come to an end of the experiences I wanted to share with you. And I wish you all the best of luck and success. But 2 things I will tell you, or 3 things I would like to tell you. One, be always brave. Never shy away from any adversity, any challenge before in your life. More importantly that I would say, have the courage to accomplish. There's a lot to be accomplished out there in the world. Everybody has a path. Everybody has a destiny. Go for it. Be brave, be courageous, and I think a lot to really learn. And before I close, I think the COVID-19 is not behind us. There are still situations. So be healthy, follow guidelines. You are the people who are going to build a nation and set example for everybody out there. And my last piece, which I'm going to tell you, develop the skills to be a global citizen in tomorrow's world and age. The passports of tomorrow are not going to be a nation. The passport of tomorrow are going to be the skills and the attitude and the accomplishments you're going to carry out there. Nations are going to value people who have the skills, who have the capability to deliver, not the origin of the country out there. Thank you very much. It really, really pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much, sir. I think these compiled 5 minutes with so many lessons to take up will surely take us a long way forward. With this, I would like to request Mr. Ravi Sharma, Dean Corporate Resource Cell, to take the oath from the passing out batch.
Good afternoon, students. May I please request you all to kindly rise. You have an oath page in your kit. Kindly take that in your left hand and forward your right hand like this, please. Professional journey. I pledge myself to the service of my motherland. I recognize my obligation to serve my organization, my community, my society, and my profession. The growth of my country will be my first consideration. I will place the interest of the organization and will be responsible for my job above my desire for personal and monetary gain. I would hold in confidence to perform best all time. I recognize that I have responsibilities towards my community to promote its welfare and speak out against injustice. I will use my skills to serve those needs with optimism. I will faithfully observe the ethics of my profession and promote its integrity through honesty, respectful relations with fellow professionals. At all times, I will maintain the highest standard of personal and professional behavior and encourage my colleagues to do the same. I am indebted to those who have taught me the art of my profession. I pledge to improve my skills through a continuous commitment to learning. I will strive to advance my profession by us and practice of the past. I recognize that the ability of my profession is to perform the best. I promise to maintain my own well-being and will assist my colleagues to do the same. Through this mutual support, we will preserve the high standards of the professionalism as it sets forth by this oath. I take this oath freely and upon my honor. And in the end, AEG, and AEG. God bless you all. I wish you good luck for your career.
For the AEG Distinguished Faculty Awards.
जाओ भाई अवार्ड बांटो जाओ रवि सर अवार्ड लेके आओ अपना आपको ले बुला रहे हैं अवार्ड लेके जाओ
To begin with, we have the first award of the AEG Distinguished Faculty for Asian Business School. And this award goes to Dr. Akanksha Kishore. I request you, ma'am, to please come on stage. AEG Distinguished Faculty Award for Asian School of Business goes to Dr. Swati Bhatia. Congratulations, ma'am. AEG Distinguished Faculty Award for Asian Law College goes to Dr. Preeti Sharma. Congratulations, ma'am. Now I would humbly like to request the dignitaries on the dais to award diplomas and medals to the topper students of Asian Business School, Asian School of Business and Asian Law College. We are beginning with the toppers of Asian Business School. Geetika Bansal from PGDM batch 2018 and 20. I request the audience to keep applauding. Kanhaiya Sharma, PGDM batch 2019-21.
बस तुम क्लोज बनाते रहो, वो फुल मैंने बना रखा है.
This is Kanhaiya Sharma, PGDM 2019-21. Next we have the topper for BBA batch 2016-19, Munifa Mohammed Arif Sheikh. But unfortunately he is not attending the ceremony today. We congratulate him. Khushi Gupta as a batch topper for BBA 2017-20. Next we have Suhani Jain as the batch topper for BBA 2018-21.
उसको भी बहुत काम है ना, उसके बिजी हो जाती है. मैं बैठ जाऊँ, तेरे पीछे बैठा हूँ.
Toppers for the BCA course, Kshitij Kumar, BCA batch 2020. He's not here with us today in the ceremony, but we congratulate him. Anandita Basu, batch topper, BCA 2018-21. Starting with the batch toppers from Asian Law College, Aditi Agarwal, batch topper for BA LL.B 2016-21. She is not here in the session today, but we congratulate her. Moving ahead, KM Rachna, LL.B 2017-20. A big round of applause for her. Again, she's a non-attending member. And Nishi Gupta, the topper from LL.B 2018-21, a non-attending member for the ceremony today. We would now begin with awarding the diplomas to all our students present here, starting with the diplomas for Asian Business School. Batch 2018-20, Akash Kapoor. I would request the students to quickly line up and come according to their names. A big round of applause, please. Amir Khan. Ayush Pandey, Abhijit Kumar Rai, Abhishek Kumar Singh, I'm sure this is a big day for each one of you, so keep applauding the people. Abhishek Singh, Abhishek Tiwari, Adarsh Gulati, Priyanka. I request the students to quickly come around on stage. Adarsh Upadhyay, Agrim Singh, Akanksha Singh, Nishant, Akshay Arora, Preksha Mishra, Anas Inam, Aniket Gulati, Anisha Sharma, Anjali Singh, Ankita Tiwari, Anuj Som, Anupam Jaiswal, Archana Pandey, Arnab Pratim, Ashray Kumar Gupta. Audience, our time would also come to be on stage. Let's keep supporting. Avik Pal, Ayan Mehti, Balram Sardar, Bulbul Maheshwari, Deepak Chaudhary, Deepak Jain, Diksha Agnihotri, Diksha Kanyal, Dikshita Negi, Gaurav Kumar, Harry Maheshwari, Harsimran Singh, Himanshu Singla, Itika Chawla, Jagmeet Singh, Jaspreet Kaur, Jayesh Kumar Sharma, Jaren Abraham, Khushbu, Kirti Gupta, Komal Chauhan, Kritika Jain, Madhubala, Mahima Singh, Malika Singh, Manvi Preet, Manjeet Singh, Mayank Verma, Utkarsh Patel, Mohit Jain, Navneet Kaur, Navneet Verma, Neha Bishnoi, Neha Saklani, Nikhil Dhiman. I think the faculties are more exciting. They are more excited to graduate too. Nikhil Dhiman, Nikhil Kumar, Nikhil Mishra, Nilesh Singh, Nimagadash Sri Hari Rao, Niyukti Agarwal, I'm sure this is a big moment for each one of you to come on stage, collect your degree and award, pass out with the flying colors, to keep cherishing this moment. Niyukti Agarwal, Palak Arora, Pallavi Saxena, Pankaj Kumar Singh, Parag Agarwal, Parag Sharma, Pragati Tiwari, Prasanjit Singh, Prashant, Prateek Pant, Pratisha Srivastav, Prerak Gaba, Prince, Prithviraj, Priya Baduria, Pooja Sharma, Pulkit Dabral, Radhika Duggal, Rahul Dongre, Rajat Gupta, Rajat Malvya. Students who are receiving the award are requested to please maintain the decorum and stay seated. Let's keep applauding. Your turn too would come to be on the stage. Rajiv Kumar Singh, Raju Kumar Yadav, Rakshak, Ravi Kumar Sharma, Richi Pachori, Rimik Gupta, Rishabh Saxena, Riya Datta, Robin Sharma, Rohan Bindal, Rutan Bharadwaj, Sabhya Srivastav, Sachin Sharma, Sagar Mahajan, Shagun Bharadwaj, Sahil Grover, Saksham, Dani, I request students to please pace up while you're coming on the stage. Sakshi Gupta, Samiksha Negi, Sanjana Mehra, Saraj Singhal, Satyam Singh Badoria, Saurabh Mittal, Sheikh Mehruz, Shivam Goyal, Shivam Sharma, Shivangi Juneja, Shivani Badbadia, Shravani Kashyap, Shrestha Srivastav, Shreya Rastogi, Shreya Singh, Shruti Singla, Shruti Tang, Shubham Jain, Shubham Katyar, Shubham Singh, Shubham Sundli, Shweta Bhagat, Siddharth Yotia, Simran Malik, Sonali Sharda, Suraj Kumar, Tanya Bajpai, congratulations to each one of you. Audience, your heads at the back are keep cheering each one of you sitting there. I think you too should do that. Utkarsh Rastogi, Vaishali, Valley Sonwani, Vasu Jain, Vipul Dhamija, students sitting in the audience should please maintain the decorum. Vipul Dhamija, Vishal Kumar Yogesh Lal, Meanwhile, I request the students from PGDM batch 1921 to line up for their award ceremony. A big round of collective applause for PGDM batch 2018-21. We are now commencing with awarding the diplomas to the students of Asian Business School batch 2019-21. The batch seems to be really excited. Anshul Sakhuja. For convenience and ease, I request the students to line up around the stage. Requesting the students from batch 2019 PGDM to line up around the stage. We are now beginning with 2019 batch Anshul Sakhuja. Ashish Mishra. Abhijit Kaushik. Ashish Mishra. Abhijit Kaushik. Avinash Kumar Singh. Aditi Juneja. I think there's a rhythmic tone in the claps now. Akash Aman, Aditya Kesarwani, Akshit Goyal, Aman Hamza, Amit Kumar Tiwari, These are students from below who are taking the lead in applauding. Ananya Ghosh, Anshul Singh, Anjali Kumar, Ankit Thakre, Anshika Singh, Anshu Rani, students, please don't wait for the pictures here. Line up. Anupriya Jha, Anurag Vishwakarma, Apurva Vashisht, I request Anu ma'am and Anurita ma'am to line up the students backstage, please. Arjun Nagar, Arnav Nidhi, let's not stop applauding. ARC, ASB, okay. It's AEG. Ashish Sikka, Avni, Ayushi Saraswat, Ayushi Saxena, Ayushman Banerjee, Chetan Sharma. There's a high spirit amongst the students of AEG today. Diksha Singh, Deepa Bansal, Deepak Kumar Mishra, Dhirendra Kumar, Dhruv Gupta, Dhruv Sharma, congratulations, Diksha Puri, Dilpreet Singh, Drishti Ghosh, Durgesh Kumar, Garima Malik, Gaurav Nirala, Gauri Srivastava, congratulations, Gaurav Pasrisha, Harsh Pandit, Harsha Verma, Harshita Sethi, Harsimran Kaur, Hemant Kumar Sahu, Indu Sharma, Jatin Bhasin, Jyotika Bansal, Karan Vermani, Lakshit Agarwal, Lakshay Arora, I think this is a rhythmic convocation. Lokesh Kumar Singh, Madhvendra Narayan, Manas Khanduja, Manita, Manvendra Pratap Singh, Mohammad Amir, Mohammad Jishan, Mohammad Irfan, Monica Khandelwal, Nand Kishore, Nandan Kumar, Navya Vats, Nayab Chaudhary, Neha Rai, Nidhi Gupta, Nidhi Gupta, Nikhil Jain, Neelu Prasad, Nivedita Pathak. We have taken our break. Let's start applauding again now. Parmeet Singh, Prabhat Sharma, Pranjal Rajput, Pratyush Saurav, Pushpendra Sharma, Ram Narayan Khandelwal, Rishika Verma, Rashika Verma, Renuka, Rishabh Kumar Arya, Riya Jain, Jain, Sagar Wadhwa, Sahil Kumar, Saloni Agarwal, Sahil Kumar, ABS, let's applaud for our students. Saloni Agarwal, Sangam Chopra, congratulations. Sanskruti Malvya, Vishal, Vishal, Shalini Singh, Sharad Gautam, Shashank Merathia, Shivam Verma, Shivam Sharma, Shivam Verma, Shivangi Sharma, Shruti Garg, Shubham Bharadwaj, Shweta Kaushik, Simran Bansal, Sonu Kaushik, Audience, our task is to applaud our achievers, co-achievers. Congratulations. So Sonu is graduating from both ASB and ABS. Graduating from AEG. Saurabh Goyal, Saurav Kumar, Srishti Dhankar, Srishti Khanna, Supriya Singh, Swapnil Raghuvanshi, Tanu Kothiyal, Saurabh Goyal, Tushar Jain, Urja Dhawan, Swapnil Raghuvanshi, Vaishali, Vaishali Bangvi, so the rhythm has begun again. People in the audience, students, let's keep applauding. Vidhi Chadha, Vimansh Kansal, Vinay Singhal, Vinay Singhal, Vishal Singh, Vishal Singh, Vivek Kumar Mal, Vivek Kumar Pathak, Yash Kumar, Yash Rajput, Yashika Gupta. I request meanwhile ASP batch 2016 to line up quickly. Yash Rawat, Yashika Gupta, Yogesh Pal Singh and Yogesh Singh Sikarwar. I request meanwhile Aman Sharma, Angela Talwar,
सुन तेरा तो मेरे को वो आ रहा है क्लास आ रही है मेरा फ्रेम इतना खुला हुआ है मेरे को उधर लगा ले यार भाई वो बीच में धड़ा था
Aryan Bansal,
जैसे पहले बैठा था वैसे खींच
Ashish Sharma,
Joji Jose,
थोड़ी बहुत तो आएगी ना
Kartik Sharda, Komal Sharma, BBA Batch 2017 can line up meanwhile. Krishna Garg, Kushagra Sabarwal, Mansi Jain, Riya Bhandari,
वहाँ से जाओ
Neeraj Sharma, Nishant Gandhi, Rahul Chadda, Rohit Kumar, Samar Abbas, faculties, I think it's a moment of pride for us, so let us also keep cheered up and applaud the students. Sandeep Kumar, Shubham Agarwal, Siddharth Bansal, Syed Yasir, Tarun Kumar, Vikas Kumar, Vishal Rathod and Yash Banga. Beginning with Batch 2017 ASB, Aditya Garg, Ajay Singh, Ajayant Kirti, Akash Gupta, Alok Singh, Aman Amit Jaiswal, Amit Kumar Upadhyay, Anjali, Anushka Agarwal, Arjav Jain, Arshdeep Singh Sagu, Anuj Rai, Aman Bansal, Bhavya Mehrotra, Deepak Sharma, Dipanshu Chauhan, Gurmeet Kalra, Harsh Nahata, Hina Chauhan, Jayant Kaur, Krishan Kumar, Kunal Singh, Lakshay Trehan, Love Bharadwaj, Mahima Gurang, Mansi Gupta, Mohammad Umair, Mohammad Danish, Neha Sharma, Nimit Jain, Nishchay Srivastav,
it's okay
Nitika Tiwari, Niyati Gupta, Piyush Vijay, Agarwal, Prince Kumar, Raghav Bhati, Rahul Kumar Pandey, Rakshit Singhal, Rishabh Kumar Pandey, Ritik Ranjan, Ritvik, Rohit Raj, Rashmi Singh, Sachin Chauhan, Sagar Goswami, Sagar Kataria, Sanjana Madan, Sanchit Agarwal, Shahbaz Alam, Shashank,
वो खुद ही कर रहे हैं, तुम लोग एक फोटो बना रहे हैं।
Sheen Budki, Shivam Garg, Shubham Tiwari, Siddharth Bharadwaj, Suhail Imran, Tejasri Ganala, Tomar Stuti, Toshika Bhatnagar, Twinkle Arora, and Vikas. Next we have students from BBA batch 2018-21. Please line up.
सभी नीले वाले जा रहे हैं, नीले वाले कहाँ हुए हैं?
Request batch 2018 BBA to quickly line up. We are starting with the ceremony of award distribution. I'm now starting with the students from BBA batch 2018-21. Arushi Priya Karol, Arushi Rajput, Abhinav Sharma, Adyam Srivastav, Aditi, Aditya Dikshit,
नाम सुन लूंगा तो
Aditya Kumar, Akanksha Bhati, Akanksha Kushwaha, Anirudh Yadav, Ankit Pandey, Anushka Bose, Arya Seni, Princey, Balram Agarwal, Vitesh Arora, Devanshi Harjai, विवेक उप्पल, फिरोज आलम, गुरुदीन वर्मा, हिमांशु, ईशा त्यागी, ईशान सिंह, इशिका बंसल, इशित सिन्हा, जानवी झा, करण गुप्ता, कृतिका वर्मा, कुणाल चौहान, लावण्या नाग, लव शर्मा, मधु कुमारी सा, मानसी आनंद, महक पिपलानी. Only people who've not stopped applauding are the heads at the back. महबूब अली नियाजी, मोहम्मद आरिश, मोहम्मद जैश खान, मोहित कुमार चौरसिया, नमत मल्होत्रा, नेहा यादव, निर्भय सिंह, निशा मनोहर, पंकज राजपूत, पार्थ घई, पिया वाजपेयी, प्राची वर्मा, प्रीतिश उपाध्याय, पुनीत कुमार, राहुल रहेजा, राजन उपाध्याय, रेशु अग्रवाल, रिमशा सैफी, रितेश खंडेलवाल, ऋतु पुंदीर, ऋतु राज, रिया कुमारी, रिजवान अहमद, रुद्राली अमृत, साक्षी चौधरी, संजीव जैना, सान्या कुकरेती, संयम, सारांश कपूर, सार्थक वर्मा, सौरभ जायसवाल, सौरभ कुमार तिवारी, Savinay Jaiswal, Shahid, Shivam, Sheetal Prasad, Shivam Kathuria, Shivam Tushir, Shubham Khurana, Shweta Kukreja, Shweta Ojha, Siddharth Chandna, Sonu Thakur. I request BCA batch 2017 and 18 to line up, please. Shubham Khurana, Siddharth Chandna, Sonu Thakur, Sparsh Gupta, Suhani Jain, Toshe Thupar, Tushar Maheshwari, Ujjwal Pandey, Vaibhav Batra, BCA batch 2017 and 18, quickly line up, please. Vanshika Bharadwaj, congratulations. Varun Sharma, Vasudev Sharma, Vibhansh Gupta, Wahidullah Shubir, and Yash Piplani. BCA. We are beginning with BCA batch 2017. Anush Tomar, Viswajit Sarkar, Harshit, Sarthak Saxena, and Vincent Kumar. Next we have the students from BCA batch 2018. Aniket Singh, Ankit, Ankit Nehra, Ankit Prajapati, Arpit Srivastav, Chirayu Goyal, Deepak Behra, Gulshan Bajoria, Himanshu Kumar, Jay Malhotra, Jessica Bhati, Kanchan Singh, Manoj Rawat, Mohammad Irfan Alam, Mrinal Monu, Mukesh Paswan, Mukul Singh Aswal, Nipun Kumar, Preeti Ram, Rajat Sharma, Sachin Gupta, Sahil Tripathi, Samriddhi Vishwakarma, Sandeep Kumar, Sanjoli Agarwal, Saraka Tiwari, Satwik Gupta, Shiv Mohan, Shiv Shankar Gupta, Shivam Pulas, Sudha, Sukhdev Singh, Vartika, Vatsala Pandey, and Yash Tyagi. Next we have the students from Asian Law College. I request, so I think the energy was all pending here. I request the students from ALC BA LLB batch 2016 to please line up quickly. Students from BLLB 2016 and LLB 2017, please all-time high. Akshita Jain, Anshul Goyal, Arun Agrahari, Dipali Keer, Harshpreet Kaur, Himanshu Bhutani, Kajol Kumar. Students, please don't leave the vicinity. You have batch-wise group photographs lined up after this. Kriti Khokar, Kumari Aditi, Megha Singh, Navanshu Mishra, Nidhi Mishra, Pankaj Sharma, Parul Bhamri, Parvez Alam, Prakshi Panchal, Pratibha Jha, Priyank Tiwari, Puneet Kumar Jha, Richa Sharma, Ritesh Nangya, Sahil Sachdev, Salman Ali Khan, Saloni Singh, Shahid Badshah Patel, Sheetal Kanpal, Shiv Shankar, Shivani Dhiman, Shivani Sharma, Shumaila, Simran Arora, Simranpreet Kaur Puri, Srishti, Sudhir Chaudhary, Tanu Chauhan, Thanglum Kim, Vishal Kumar, Zishan Parvez Khan, Zainab.
आप यहाँ से नहीं निकल पाओगे, वहीं से निकलो, वहीं से निकलो।
Beginning with LLB batch 2017-20.
किसी की फोटो खराब कर।
Next I want LLB batch 2018 to also quickly line up. Prakash Poshak Yadav, Rishabh, Shalini Upadhyay, Sheetal Singh. Next we have students from LLB batch 2018. Ayush Mittal, Abhash Sharma, Aditya Awasi, Aksha Mishra. Students, please pace up. Akshita Mishra, Anchal, students left to be awarded. Can we all applaud cheerfully? Akshita Mishra, Anchal,
जसवंत क्या है
Apurva Gaur, Akshita Dhiman, Ashwini, Danish Khattar, Garima Anila, Garima Khetal, Gaurav Arora, Gundeep Kaur, Hina Naz, Madhuri, Kirti, Kushagra Kaushal, Mansi Gaba, Nikita Nautiyal, Piyush Goyal, Piyush Kumar Verma, Priya, Rohit, Shaili Shukla, Shamsher Singh, Shivangi Rathore, Sonali Bharti, Sukriti Shukla, Sumit Rana, Sunanda Thokom, Tarannum, faculties, let us please collectively applaud our young leaders of tomorrow. Tarannum and Yogesh Kumar. photographs and then for high tea. This is the last student. A big round of collective applause for all the achievers. This is for all 700 students graduating today. It's a thorough pleasure. Thank you so much, guests. You may please get seated, sir.
700 बच्चे
Those students who are not present today.
Your attention, please. By the virtue of
I request everybody's attention, please.
By the virtue of the power vested with me as director of the institution, I confer upon you the postgraduate diploma and certification in management and charge that even in your life and conversation you will show yourself worthy of the same. You can now change your bow from left to right. And also, I confer this diploma and certification to the students who were not able to come and attend this convocation. So I confer this graduation certification and the post-graduation diplomas to the students in their absentia. Thank you.
I would request Dr. Sunita Verma, Dean, Student Welfare, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to our esteemed dignitaries, faculty members and students. I, Dr. Sunita Verma, Dean, Student Welfare, Asian Education Group, regards this as an honor and privilege to extend vote of thanks on the convocation day. Once a great man said, feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a gift and not giving it. Today, I take this opportunity on behalf of Asian Education Group to thanks our guest of honor, Mr. Vipul Sabharwal. Sir has to left a bit early. So thank you so much, sir, for his valuable time. Our guest of honor, Ms. Rachna Sharma, founder, Puro Innovation, for sharing her thoughtful wisdom of thoughts. Dr. Sandeep Marwa, sir, President, Asian Education Group. Sir, your support and your presence keeps us charged. Dr. Lalitavi Srivastava, Director, Asian Education Group. Mr. Saurabh Sharma, Director, Asian Education Group. Mr. Gurdeep Singh Raina, Director, Asian Education Group, for all words of wisdom that radiated a source of energy amongst all present here. My heartfelt gratitude to all the graduates. Thank you for your presence and congratulations on your day. Thanks to all parents for their presence on the auspicious convocation day. An event of this dimension cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling months in advance. We have been fortunate enough to backed up by entire team. A special thanks to Mr. Ravi Sharma, Dean CRC, Dr. Shweta Batra, Dean Examination, Ms. Preeta Sivraman, Dr. Maruf Ahmed, Dean, Asian School of Business, Ms. Shipra Srivastav, Mr. Ashish Bharadwaj, T.N. Prasad Sir, Principal, Asian Law College, and all my team members. A special thanks to all the event student coordinators who have helped us in conducting this event flawlessly. Thank you so much.
I request Dr. Lalitavi Srivastava, Director, Asian Education Group, to declare the convocation closed.
With the permission of the eminent personalities on the dais, I declare this convocation 2022 closed. Thank you.
I request all the members present here under this roof to please rise up to the national anthem.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता